All right, what's happening, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday to you all who celebrate and everything. Welcome to another episode of my podcast, Chillin. And our guest has brought her community over here to my podcast today. So, big shout out once again to MissPatriciaa, who will be joining me here in a minute. And thank you for the follow. And there she is, right there, just in time. Y'all show your love for MissPatriciaa, everybody. Y'all welcome her into the ice cave. Oh. As you can see, in the background, we're bumping some Street Fighter 6 music because, you know, MissPatriciaa, as you guys know, longtime Street Fighter player, fan, tournament player. Who's that pretty lady on the screen? Hey, I confer. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love one more time for Miss Shenanigan herself. One of the queens of the FGC, MissPatriciaa, everybody. Yo, Missy P, how are you doing today?
How are you? It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. I'm doing fantastic. I see you got a lot of fans here today. I love it.
It's just some of the homies we brought in.
Yes. That's what's up. So, do you mind, she famous? Oh yeah. I believe it. She might I saw her playing in Evo last. No, I'm kidding.
That's definitely not a thing. That was not a thing.
I mean, but she could do one. She could do one in Evo. Maybe one day become the first woman to win a famous thing at Evo. Win an Evo.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
That would be
money
nice.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah. Yo, speaking of money, did you hear about the Capcom Cup prize pool for next year? I think it's like $1 million or something like that.
I sure did.
Like. That's just crazy, how far, that just shows how far fighting games have evolved, like the whole I can't get my words out right now. The whole like landscape of like fighting game esports has evolved. I mean, before you would think, you would prize pool probably about, a couple 100,000, maybe even in the five figures.
It's definitely like we've had a lot of we made a lot of headway with a lot of companies lately. Obviously, Sony has put in a lot of money and a lot of investment into that, so it's given us the chance to be a lot more mainstream, it's a good thing. I do think that they should have a little bit more grassroots. They really need to have a nice balance. I think it's hard to balance everything out right now because I truly think that there should be a lot more money invested into like the other tournaments that lead up to those events. But that's just me. That's just my opinion.
Hey, that's a valid opinion. I mean, now I don't know. Now, although I play fighting, I don't know much about fighting games other than certain frame data and like I know some players like Punk, of course Maximilian. I mean, who doesn't know Maximilian? Maximilian is like the Mario of the FGC, if you will.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, I'll take that. I like that.
But that leads me to what we're talking about today. Today is a special episode talking about women in the FGC. Well, I guess first, Missy P, I think the proper way to get started is, introduce yourself to our audience for those that may not know who MissPatriciaa is.
Sure. So my name is MissPatriciaa, and I am primarily, pretty much at this point, a streamer who plays a lot of Street Fighter. We do on occasion play some retro, like we'll dive into Donkey Kong every once in a while, or whatever we feel like it in just terms of any random retro game that we feel like playing at the time.
Ooh,
But
donkey.
yeah, I've been around in the FGC for since Street Fighter 4. So
Oh, that's a long time.
yeah. So whenever Street Fighter 4 dropped, which was like 2010, 2009, 2010, somewhere around there, I've been around for that long. And yeah, I've just been a TO. I was a TO for a while to just a general event organizer, and eventually I started playing a little bit more competitively. But yeah, that's been like the very brief of my journey and what I've been doing.
Oh, that's awesome. You mentioned you were a TO. Was there anything you liked about it? Anything that you didn't like about it that you want to discuss?
I mean, I got my start doing that only because when I was playing Street Fighter 4, I was not yet integrated into the community in the very beginning, for like the first year, I would say, of the game's release. I only started doing that because I wanted to start getting better at the game. And in order for me to do that, I didn't really know.
That's the way to do it.
I didn't know who played though, so I had no idea. I didn't even know that the FGC existed. So I was like, okay, you know, if I can't find people, I may as well have people come to me instead. So I went to a retro video game store that was very local to me. And I don't know what came over me because I feel like I probably wouldn't have had the confidence now to do it if I didn't have any experience. But I guess that's what you do when you're younger. I went in there and I was like, hey, you know, do you guys need like a tournament organizer? Because I could organize that for you. And I think you should hire me to help, you know, do your marketing and whatnot. And they were like, okay, like, do you have any experience doing that? And I was like, well, I'm a marketer by trade, but I can, you know, I'm pretty sure I can fall into the role to do everything else too. So they did hire me. And the first game that they were like, all right, yeah, we'll hire you, but we're going to give you like a test run first. So we're going to be hosting like our own event this weekend. Why don't you come by and like just host like a 16-man bracket or like a, you know, whatever. And I was like, sure. They're like, we'll figure out the game when we do the event. So we did the event, and when I got there, they were like, all right, I was like, okay, what game am I gonna like, you know, organize? And they were like, Super Monkey Ball. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, that's
Super
fine.
Monkey Ball?
It was a Super Monkey Ball tournament that they hosted.
Well,
it was so funny. And
oh,
but yeah,
that's
like,
completely
you know,
random.
and at that time, like thinking about it now, it's like back in my day, we did brackets on basically pen and paper, and that's exactly what I did. So I ran all my brackets on, you know, on this piece of
that's
paper.
old school.
Yeah,
old school,
yeah.
really.
I mean, that's how it was. That's how you did a bracket, and yeah, we ran the tournament. It went well, and then from then on, I started doing Street Fighter. I started doing Marvel. I did Street Fighter Cross Tekken as well. I did Smash. I did quite a few games. Like, I just wanted the entire plethora for a little while. And then we just kept getting immersed into Street Fighter, and I just took it from there. But I enjoyed the process. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a good learning experience for me. I really did enjoy it.
That's incredible, and that's what's up. And you know, you mentioned marketing. You kind of have to look for that. I don't know if anyone has ever told you that, but
I've definitely gotten that. It's more of, I think, I don't know if it's more of a look, because I think it's more of just like an energy. I think it's an energy,
a vibe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. What would you say that kind of energy is, if you don't mind me kind of
Confidence.
I kind of want to ask that.
You have to have a certain confidence and like an ability to be able to delegate. I think it comes down to that, and being able to see things from other people's perspective.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, there you guys go. That's it for the podcast. Y'all have a good night, everybody. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Come on, man. Come on. Y'all know I wouldn't do that to you guys. She's too humble. She's got star power. She really does.
You know what? I have not given Hack and Sack hot dogs its due diligence, because you know what happens to me? Because I need to go and have their food. Because Hack and Sack hot dogs is a joint in Hackensack, New Jersey, as the name suggests. and
Oh,
it is
okay.
very close to my gym that I go to. And
Oh, you
when
live in Jersey?
I live in Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl.
Oh, wow.
And
Hey, New Jersey in the house. Very,
so
very strong of FGC, by the way. FGC scene over there,
yeah.
by the way.
And when I go to the gym and I come back, I pass by Hackensack hot dogs every single night. And I always look in the window and I'm like, I could really use a hot dog. And I just don't, because I just left the gym. So that, I called, I don't know if you know one of my homies, Johnny Fraze. He's
I've heard of him. I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's a star. He's a star in the community. Is a star stick maker. Does also organizes events. We organize them together, and a bunch of other things. And I called him and I was like, we need to go have this hot dog. And he was like, yeah, we'll organize a day to go. But yeah, shout outs to Hackensack hot dogs. I will definitely stop by.
If you're in the Jersey area, you need some hot dogs. There you go.
Yeah.
We'll put Hackensack on our list. So maybe someday if I visit the Jersey area, that I know where to go for some good hot dogs.
Where are you from?
I'm from Texas, actually, born and raised.
Right. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, so you guys gotta go to barbecue. That's it. And we gotta go out to see that.
They all the good barbecue and everything, all the meat and everything. The cliche blind. Everything's bigger in Texas, bigger and better in Texas.
I love a good a brisket. I love a good brisket.
Oh, especially the good brisket that it comes out so easy and it's all like juicy and everything. Oh,
I love a good brisket and a good pulled pork. Like that's my I'll tell you my plate. It's brisket, pulled pork, some cornbread, and macaroni and cheese. Like I have
that sounds
to have
delicious.
that. That's my plate. I will always have that.
Yes. Throwing for me that same plate, but throwing for some roasted asparagus, man. I'm golden.
Okay, all right. I see you. I'll take that too. I like roasted asparagus. Asparagus is great.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have some of my friends that don't like asparagus. But anyway, no,
it's
still,
an acquired
cool.
taste. I used to hate it as a kid, and then I eventually tried it as I got older, and I think my palate just changed.
Yeah, same. I found out that so they have how they have seasoning for certain meat like steak and all that.
Yeah.
So I roast my asparagus and. So I have an olive oil cooking spray, and I spray my asparagus with it, and then I put in this meat seasoning, the steak seasoning with it. Oh, it makes asparagus that much more tolerable. It tastes like steak, but asparagus. Literally.
I will have to try it. Yeah, it's just the way you cook it.
I either will roast it or I'll air fry it. I couldn't think of the words.
Oh, the air fryer.
Yo, if you don't have an air fryer, I gotta be real.
No, it's a game changer. It's a game changer.
Yes, people, if you do not have an air fryer right now, they are dirt cheap. Let me tell you. I mean, of course, if you want the best quality, you have to fork a few.
Yeah, I still stand by. Yes, they are dirt cheap, but you definitely I definitely do my research on them because. You stick with the Ninja. I have to stick with the Ninja because the thing is I don't trust the other ones because sometimes they look good, they look amazing, and they're cheap, but I'm always afraid of the coating on the on the container where you put everything.
The container,
I'm always afraid of that.
Yeah, you're afraid it might get on your food or it might. I definitely understand. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what do you like to cook on your air fryers?
Literally, I just put my chicken in the air fryer. I love that. But you can get so creative with that. I'm not as creative as other people are. I do want to start cooking there's a lot of recipes I saw online for protein cupcakes in the air fryer, and I kind of try that.
Protein cupcakes.
Protein funfetti cupcakes in the air fryer, and I need that. I need it.
Yo, that sounds so good.
Mhm. I saw that, and the macros on it are just good. They're very, very good. Rich in protein, lower in fat, and obviously and a decent amount of carbs. And I'm just I need to try that.
We already have a question from Ancient Dragon. Which Street Fighter is your favorite and why? Ooh. Honestly, that's just one of the questions I was going to ask you, but there you go.
Street Fighter is my I have several different Street Fighters that are my favorite for several different reasons. Like I have different sentimental like attachments to all of them. But I would say still Street Fighter 4 might be my favorite. I have loved Third Strike. Of course Street Fighter the new Challengers for me was the game that I played all the time. As a kid, as a teenager, as a college student, when everybody had like the Nintendo, I was about to say the Nintendo Switch, when everybody had the Wii, and you had the retro console.
Yeah.
The retro library, I had so many games on that thing. But Street Fighter 2: The New Challengers was all of my friends, all of my cousins would come over, and we would bring drinks and like have a lot of food.
Oh,
and,
man.
And we would just play that game. And that was when I played the game so casually. And I honestly sometimes wish I had like the casual mentality again, because I'm such a sweaty tryhard in this game. And I honestly miss just playing the game and just enjoying it. Like, and Street Fighter 2: The New Challengers did that for me. I really loved that experience because I played it with everybody, and I would talk Street Fighter with everybody. Like, I knew the lore, I knew all about it. That was one of my, honestly, I would say if not for taking me into the FGC, it would be Street Fighter 2: The New Challengers. Has to be the New Challengers though, because like that's when
that's when
you get everybody.
That's Super Street Fighter 2, if I'm not mistaken, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
the one where Cammy and DJ, T-Hawk, and Faye debuted. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
You can't go like I think Street Fighter 2 was like the thing that really started, kind of the thing that really started like the fighting game scene. Well, not the fighting game, but fighting games in general.
There were so many fighting games. But like obviously the success of Street Fighter 2, it was such a big boom. Like it definitely gave us the entire community. It really definitely did.
It really did.
There. Mm-hmm.
Like if Street Fighter 2 didn't exist, there would be pretty much no fighting game community. The same way.
Well,
like
if it wasn't Street Fighter. Like, if it wasn't Street Fighter, I would say maybe KI. KI had some success.
Killer Instinct, yes.
Yeah. And then eventually Tekken had some success.
The Tekken.
Marvel 2 had success. Like, those games eventually became a thing, but obviously Street Fighter has such pull.
Well, it's like everyone's first... It's like the first big, fighting game that, that kind of sort of brought fightings on the map. Maximus has a question. If Ken was not in Street Fighter 6, who would you main? I'm real interested in this one because I know you are a diehard Ken enthusiast.
I can't leave him. Like, I just don't know what I wouldn't. I don't know what I would do. I really want to say, if I didn't play Ken in Street Fighter 6, I might have dabbled with Jamie for a bit, but I would have left him. And I probably would have ended up with maybe Luke.
Luke?
I'm not, maybe. I don't know, but I have a feeling it probably would have been... I would have dabbled in Jamie and left him anyway and ended up with Luke. I have a feeling it would have been that way. Because I like Jamie's character, but I feel like just the struggles are there. And yeah. I don't know. He's not a Shoto, and like at least Luke is like user friendly.
That makes sense. I can see you do that. I can see you play Luke. So Street Fighter, the game is getting obviously year 2 DLC. And we all know Akuma, who is the character that I'm waiting for, is coming out pretty soon. But all that aside, who would you like to see in the second year DLC? Is there any one or two characters you like to see?
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this on my stream a couple of times, like the fantasy roster of who we would like to see for season 2. My one answer that I always give, I think, without hesitation is always Fei Long. Not because I'm going to play him, but I just want to see him in the game. I miss Fei Long. I liked him as a character. I think he's always been pretty cool. And it kind of like how DJ didn't really get so much love in Street Fighter 4 because he was just terrible in that game. He made his comeback in 6, and now he's like, you know, he like people. DJ's doing fine as in terms of character representation. People play that character, you know.
Oh yeah.
But Fei Long, I feel like he just needs to show up again. Like I just need to see him back. That would be I would like Fei Long to show up in the game. For a second pick after that, I wouldn't mind if Vega came back in the game. If we got some Shadow Lou
Oh
in the
wow.
game.
That's a first.
Yeah.
You're the
Not
first
that
person
I would
to say
play
that.
them.
Wow.
Not that I would play them. Like you know what everybody's generic answer always is? It's Makoto. Everybody wants Makoto. Everybody wants C Viper. Everybody wants Makoto. I get it. Everybody likes Makoto, but I would like to see, you know, let's put Fei Long back in the game.
I agree. We haven't seen Fei Long since what, Street Fighter 4?
Mhm.
I'm hoping that the developers haven't forgot about him. But yeah, I would love to see Fei Long back in the game. Personally, this is just me being biased. I would like to see Sakura back in the game, as you know.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing Sakura back in the game. I think
yeah.
I like her. I like her as a character. But I think you
Yeah.
have to bring back Karen if you bring back Sakura. Just saying.
I agree. I mean, at this point, I mean, to be honest, like with the Street Fighter, with the way the Street Fighter 6's story, I believe it's after Street Fighter 3. I feel like, you know, I would like to see how Sakura and Karen and like, you know, some of the like the younger cast of Street Fighter 3, how they grew up.
They're older now. Yeah, I really. Oh, and I did say that I think I wouldn't say he is my like I'm not dying for this character to come back, but I think it's appropriate if they bring Sean back. Like if they put Sean in the game, I think it's
yes. I did not even think of that.
Because his aesthetic and just the way he is as a character really fits the vibe of Street Fighter 6.
And he is a Shoto. I mean, he's like a he's a pseudo Shoto, but you guys know where we're going with this. Kane brought up a good point that we don't get to see many women in the FGC. My question to you is why do you think that is? This might be.
I mean, honestly, a lot of people say that, but I have such a contrary belief to that because I feel like we do have lots of women in the FGC now. I would say like
now,
if you were to have this conversation with me like 10 years ago, I would be able to name on like one hand, two hands the amount of people that like we all know because we all knew each other. Like we all knew exactly who everybody was. But now I think it's definitely grown a lot. The communities have grown. I think the reason why people still say that there is like very limited representation in the FGC for females is because maybe they're only looking at it in like a top player perspective.
Like
which,
top 8, top 16.
Even top 30 too. Like it's not like that's a rarity. That is a rarity, I would say. That you don't get too much of. But in terms of like tournament organization, people who work a lot behind the scenes, people who
commentators and all
basically,
that.
Yeah, people who play casually, people who go out as streamers, people who go out to support their friends, you know, maybe their boyfriends or girlfriends, or just going out there into the scene. There is so many that like have or like cosplayers definitely like that's a boom, but they're in that community. As players though, as like athletes, if we want to put it in that category, I would say we're limited to who's really good. We have a lot of female players. There's a big roster in my head that I can think of, in all different regions too, and even just in the United States, like East, West, Central. I can name a few in each. Obviously, it's still a smaller ratio compared to the male demographic, but like I would say we're definitely there.
I feel.
you know,
I'm sorry.
definitely taking on different roles for sure.
Sorry to interrupt there. I feel like the gap has narrowed quite a bit
A little bit, yeah.
from between 10 years ago and today. Like I see a lot. In just players, commentators, I see a lot more women in the FGC these days, and personally, I'm here for it.
And honestly, like that's just me. Like me being able to pretty much name, like I have most knowledge in like the Street Fighter space, but that's not even me talking about like the Tekken space, because there's a lot more. There's a lot more females in the Tekken space. There's a lot more girls in like women seem to really like Mortal Kombat. There's a lot more women in the Mortal Kombat scene as well. KI, like Darkstalkers. I can like they're all there. They're definitely there. And I think it's great. Like I think it's nice. It's our time, you know. I truly feel that we as players, probably I would like to see more representation if we're gonna like segregate it to that. I like people who really do grind the game and I guess strive to be able to make those higher placings. I don't think we have too many of that. But people who really enjoy this game, people who play it on a semi-competitive level, we do have plenty of those for sure.
As a woman in the FGC, what has been your greatest challenge? What is your greatest challenge? This could be, you know, in the game, or this could be, you know, personally. What has been like your greatest challenge that you know you feel like you've overcome?
If I had to say I had like a challenge, it might have been just personal to myself as a player, like just my methods of just trying to improve to become a better player in the game. I'm not, and that's a me thing. Like I'm always more stubborn. Like I don't like to lab. I don't like to like. I take accountability for my own actions and like not being able to improve as fast as I should. But yeah, but the thing is, what I really liked about being somebody who took the game a little bit more seriously kind of came with the notion that like when people did see you, they did recognize you for something that you do. And what I like to do is to be able to organize events, to be able to show representation, you know, in New Jersey as somebody who brings people together to play the game and fighting games in general. And I also would like to be considered a notable player, but the way I've been playing these days, it ain't it.
Nah, man.
That's my challenge. That's been my
challenge. You're notable to us here, so yeah, that's you know who in the FGC inspires you the most, or you can name maybe 3 or 4 people or more.
Who in the Johnny Fraze? I would say Johnny Fraze. Johnny and I have had a really good working relationship ever since he basically found me when I started streaming. When I have started working with him. So Johnny Fraze is not only a fellow Capcom creator with us. He's somebody who is has done lots of work for so many premier tournaments, like, you know, CEO, Combo Breaker. He's worked with some of the best TOs, Red Bull Kumite, as somebody who like shows out his musical talent as a musician, as a DJ, somebody who does like a lot of graphic work and a lot of graphic designs for Evo, for Red Bull, for
he does everything.
Yeah, for Combo Breaker, yeah. And he's a father. He's got an amazing wife. He's got 2 girls, and he's a family man, and he's very supportive of me. He built me my fight stick. Like he built my fight stick. You know,
Yo.
Johnny Fraze, this is mine. This is because of him. You know, I wouldn't have this if it wasn't for him. And this is the For the Dub fight stick with a 6 god layout, and it's just working with him. I haven't even begun, and I don't think I'll ever really be able to lay out in full in this interview like all the stuff that he's done for the community. But in terms of what he's done for me, it's been like me and him are definitely brother and sister. Me and him have really great working chemistry together. We always have. Whenever I needed support with anything, he would always be there. And I always try to support him too in his endeavors. But watching him grow his company and the way that he does things, his work ethic has always been very inspiring to me. I don't think there's many. He's like in the top 1% of people who work as hard as Johnny in general in this community to just get what they have to get done, like completed. And I think he's always been inspiring, and he will always be inspiring to me.
Shout out once again to Johnny Fraze. Man, he sounds like a jack of all trades kind of person, you know.
He is.
When it comes to the FG, to be a dad and to balance all that, that takes a lot of dedication and and hard work. So hats off to him.
I don't know if he's in the Johnny Fraze.
Johnny, my man.
He's a family man.
I tip my hat off to you, my friend. Max said that's a cold fight stick. Where can he buy it?
Oh, JohnnyFraze.com. JohnnyFraze.com, right?
Oh, he sells the fight sticks too?
Yeah. And he's currently building me another one now, which is the smaller version of this stick that we have. It's called that's called the For the Dub stick. This one is called the Mini Dub. So it fits in my purse, the stick that he's about to build me. So I'm really excited about that.
Okay, so I'm gonna be real here. I am not a fight stick person. I have tried using a fight stick a couple of times, and when I try to do a quarter circle forward, my character does nothing. Mm-hmm. So I play with the controller. I play with the pad. Just because that's what I'm used to.
What kind of pad?
Good old PS5 pad.
Okay. Oh, cool. I like it. Looks good.
Appreciate it. So my question is, if someone were to convert from a controller to a fight stick, what would be like the best advice that you could give them in terms of like executing? Because fighting games is all about execution, and sometimes that execution can be ruined if you have like a unique feature with your hand, or if the controller doesn't feel right, or if you have like something broken on the controller or something. But all that aside, what would be the best advice for someone to get used to a fight stick? Pretty much.
I would say, this is in general, if somebody wanted to switch peripheral, like whatever you wanted to switch to. Like, I don't care if you want to switch to like a Donkey Kong bongo. Like, it's a matter of committing. It really is, because at the end of the day, it's like, how Facebook used to always, like, we would wake up one morning and Facebook would just have a whole new layout and everybody would hate it. And everybody would complain and be like, oh, I hate this new layout. It sucks, blah, blah, blah. But, like all things,
I remember that.
Time passes and we get used to it. And then what happens? We wake up another morning and there's another layout change. And we hate that one because we want the old one back. So what happens is potentially that means that if we had the option, we would go back to the old one because it's comfortable. So I would say, if you're going to switch to something, you gotta stick with it. And I would say that the learning curve, because I switched from when I was playing Street Fighter 4, I spent like the first year of it playing on a 360 pad. I was playing on Street Fighter 4 on a 360 pad, and I used analog stick at the time too. And it was comfortable for me. I loved it. And I was kind of forced into learning stick by the person I was dating at the time. And when I did, and when I would do that, it took me, I would say, like 90 days. Because,
wow.
But I would have moments where I would just be like, I'd be playing somebody and I'd be like, crap, like I could totally beat them if I was on my pad. So like, I would go and sneak off and get it. And then like, he would find me and then switch out and then like in the middle of my game, he would just take the pad away from me and then just plop the stick on my lap. And so I could keep playing. So it was that strict. But eventually what happens was that I got used to it. So consistency is definitely a thing. If you keep going back and forth and swapping back and forth, it just hinders. It really does hinder your progress on that. Also, just being precise, being more conscious of like your execution in general. Because no matter what you use in general, you still are gonna have to need better execution, regardless. You need good execution no matter what you use. I definitely strongly suggest, yes, being conscious of your execution and don't switch back and forth to get the bang from your buck.
Probably the best piece of advice right there is just stick with it. So I gotta ask you this question: If Street Fighter never existed, number one, would you still be playing fighting games? Number two, what fighting game would you play?
Oh, if Street Fighter never existed, my life wouldn't even be the same. Like, my life wouldn't even be what it is. As I'm not even saying that as like exaggeration. It's a real thing.
I know.
But if Street Fighter didn't exist, I probably, like, because I was playing other fighters beforehand. I was actually playing a lot of Dead or Alive at the time of Street Fighter 4 too. So I was playing Dead or Alive 3, then I played Dead or Alive 4.
Man, DOA 4.
Yeah, loved that game. I played the crap out of that game.
I did, yeah. I did too.
I always loved fighting games.
And for DOA people, I play for the gameplay, okay? Just for the gameplay. Just the gameplay, all right.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's get that out of the way. I'm sorry. Continue.
I probably would have been more into 3D. Probably would have jumped into I was into DOA. I really loved King of Fighters because I'm Hispanic, so we just by default love King of Fighters. And then probably Tekken.
Oh, Kane says, so I actually played DOA once before coming out of the closet, and the girl who really knew thought I was staring at the girls, but legitimately I was entranced by the fighting.
But it was very good. Like, honestly, that game, I had so much fun. It went downhill after DOA 5, honestly, though. I
agree.
Couldn't get into DOA 5, and it just disappeared.
Yeah, I tried playing 6. It just wasn't the same. I just didn't like some of the changes they did with the gameplay. And all due respect, but the English VAs for like Kasubi and all of them just didn't feel right.
Oh, I always kept it in Japanese sub. Like,
yeah.
I never did it in what it wasn't intended to be.
So I know in Street Fighter, in pretty much all Street Fighter games, your Ken is like your go-to. Why Ken? So what really started the shenanigans for MissPatriciaa?
So yeah, that one's actually an easy one, and it didn't come with anything so well. It wasn't like a deep story, I guess you could say. There is no deep story as to why I ended up with Ken. It happened because I wanted to play Chun-Li in Street Fighter 4. And I loved that character. I was so much about I just who doesn't love Chun? Chun is great. As people really do gravitate toward her. And I really wanted to play her. So I tried my best to play Charge, and that's when I realized I'm just terrible at Charge characters. I just will never do it. And I tried my best to play her. I did ranked sessions, and one day I had a terrible ranked session with her. I think I did 5 rank matches in a row, and I was so heated and I was so salty, and I was so mad, and I was like, okay, you know what, forget it. And then I was like, next match I'm just gonna hit random, and I hit random and I got Ken, and I started winning, and then I was like, oh, okay, this is good. So honestly, ever since then, I never that was it. I never looked back. I stuck with Ken. I found him in random select. He, it worked, and then we just kept on shenaniganing. Wow. What was it?
Sometimes it works like that. The most random thing can happen. It just sticks with you. All right, Maximus has a question. What are your top 3 anime?
Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite anime of all time, so that's immediately
underrated. Very underrated.
Yeah. After that, maybe Maxie, come on, man. There's so much anime. There is an anime that I really liked called X. It was made by Clamp. It's from the people who did Cardcaptor Sakura, Tsubasa, Holic. They did a myriad of anime, but they did this one really amazing apocalyptic anime called X/1999, and it was to me, by far one of my favorites. And that one I would say is a super underrated anime. You know Clamp, really, Kane? I love Clamp. I love almost all their work. Like basically all their work. I have some of their manga. Really? Oh my gosh. I was just talking about how X is like my favorite anime of all time. Like one of my favorite animes of all time. But nobody knows it. Everybody, like, people have slept.
Yeah, I don't even know what this is. You're gonna have to elaborate more on this, because this is the first time I've heard of this.
They just do an amazing job at whatever it is that they do. I just love their themes. Like there is an anime called Holic, and then there's an anime called X. And like X to me is that's my favorite of their work. And it just, not many people really know this anime, but it's so beautifully written. It's a gorgeous, like, visually I think it's gorgeous. And for the themes and just how they portray their stories, I've always really appreciated them as artists. Like, I love them. I would say after that, I would probably put Dragon Ball in top 3.
Yes.
Because, just because
that's my favorite
just
anime
because
right
of
there.
Just because of what like Dragon Ball gave me, and it gave the world. I would say that's probably my top. I would say that's a decent top 3.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Also, rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. I'm sure it cannot go without saying.
Definitely.
I mean, Akira Toriyama, like, without him, like, I don't think the anime won't be as mainstream as it is today, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like impacted the world for sure.
Oh yeah. So I'll ask one last question here, and I'll ask all my guests this: if you ever want to become a content creator, or even get involved with the FGC, what is the one best advice that you could give to someone that's like that has an interest in, I want to stream, or I want to create content, or even I want to play fighting games, for that matter?
If you want to create content, watch people who inspire you. Do not copy, but get inspired by them, and see what you can do to kind of take little bits and pieces of the things that you learn from others. If you want to be somebody who streams, be somebody and that hasn't streamed, but like are somebody who like just actively watches streams. Support your communities as much as you can, but support them with honesty, because people can smell a fake from people just know like who they should watch and who they shouldn't. But supporting your communities, when you're part of communities that you support, they will support you in return. So your success will probably increase just from that alone, from being a person who is supportive of others. If you want to be somebody who wants to play fighting games, go to your locals. Find your locals, find the people who are hosting events, and go and support it. Be part of the community. Basically, the answer is immerse yourself in the community of everything you want to do.
Could not say that any better.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, MissPatriciaa, everybody. Y'all show us some love.
Thank you.
Alrighty, guys. So we're not at the point of the podcast where the roles are now switched. So, MissPatriciaa, you get to ask me one question, and now it is that time. So the floor is yours.
Okay, Iceman. In your whole experience as a streamer, content creator, Capcom creator, somebody who's been really, immersed and supportive of their own community, I would say that I thought really hard about this question. Pineapple on pizza or nah?
I had a feeling someone was going to ask me this one day. I knew this was coming. I am going to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
And I've said this a lot to people who've asked me this.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No. No. Pineapple on pizza is a cardinal sin. And I stand by that.
He said no. Oh my
And
god.
I stand by that 100%. No.
Oh,
And
your mom's gonna ban you.
But no. Any kind of, well, any fruit on pizza, no. No. I'd rather have, I'm sorry. I'd rather have, no, this is going to, I'm crazy. I'd rather have anchovies on pizza than pineapple on pizza.
Oh, I can't agree with that. I cannot agree with that. Oh, that's good. That was
I'm
good.
sorry. Okay, is that too? I'm being sarcastic, Kimmy. But yes, but for real, pineapple on pizza, nope, not for me. We stand with MissPatriciaa. I think we're gonna have a little war on our hands here. Then I tried pineapple on pizza before, and my stomach has regretted it since.
Agreed with you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I honestly don't mind it. Like the thing is, I will never go out of my way to get it. But
right.
If somebody hands me a slice, but the thing with pineapple on pizza is this: it cannot just be pineapple on pizza. There has to be like either sausage or some type of like salty or protein on it to balance out. Because to me, I compare it to like a chocolate covered pretzel, salty and sweet. So you have to have something to balance that out.
I can respect MissPatriciaa's opinion of pineapple on pizza.
I respect yours. I heard you loud and clear, but I respect your opinion.
But before we go, what is your favorite what toppings do you like on your pizza?
Oh, I'm like a deluxe topping type of girl. Like I really like.
So you like everything on it.
I do like everything. But the margarita pizza, if it's not the margarita pizza, I will do like, sausage pepperoni with like green pepper, onion, Oh, and like a lot of Parmesan. A lot of Parmesan and red pepper flakes.
Ooh. You said margarita pizza. What is that?
Margarita pizza is the tomato with the fresh basil and fresh mozzarella on it.
Oh, okay. Margarita with the H. Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking of margarita like the drink.
Oh, no. Definitely not. Not the boozy one. Not the boozy.
Oh,
the nice
man.
margarita.
Don't mind my newer divergent.
It's Good Friday,
but anyway. I know. Don't. This is my newer divergent brain going crazy. Oh, this was a good podcast. I love doing this. This was
having me on.
Yes.
I really appreciate
No,
that.
thank you, Miss. Thank you, Missy P, for entertaining us and endowing your fighting game wisdom and food knowledge upon all of us.
No, this was so much fun.
Yes. One more time, MissPatriciaa, everybody.
Thank you.
Alrighty. With that said, y'all stay icy. Have a good night, everybody.
Stay icy.